for the girls and the boys to move on to area. Got to take care of business today to be able to get that chance tomorrow in the regional consolation championship game. But the girls did their part yesterday, wound up winning 70-35 over Cash, an effort we had hoped to see. It was one of those games when we were talking about kind of leading up that as long as you went out, performed, took care of business, you should give yourself a good shot to pull away. They did. Briley Douglas Fisher, great game, 20 points for her. Kaylee Mills with 16, Lexi Mendel with 13, and Bailey Nelson with 10. So you got 4 girls in double figures, which was fantastic. And, on top of that, you got valuable minutes for some of those other girls. You think like Zoe Chavez, Kate Bourne and Al Howard, all them, and they came in and played hard and good as well. So just an overall good effort, took care of business against the team you needed to, quite frankly, yesterday.
Yeah, and you're talking about those younger kids getting a chance to come in and play, work hard, things like that. And that's something that, really honestly, since even Cadence and Zoe Chavez, Zoe Smith, they've been on the varsity roster for a little bit, but they hadn't had much chance to get in to get significant minutes, and they were able to yesterday. And hopefully the way the Boomers played yesterday, they came out and they didn't do a lot wrong. They kind of went through a small stretch kind of in the third quarter where it felt like it was kind of starting to fall apart a little bit, and something about that third quarter for this Boomer girls team, it kind of bites them a little bit. I see even Coach Moore post on Facebook, can we just not have halftime? Can we just keep on playing? And you even saw a little bit yesterday, but they kind of got a timeout. They were able to reset themselves, and hopefully yesterday gave this team some confidence because they do have a path to try to get through this consolation bracket. More than likely, win this game. More than likely going to place Elk City again. But you've already shown that, hey, you can play with Elk City. You were up, 15 at Elk City?
Yeah.
In the district? Was it 16?
17, actually.
17?
31-14 at the half, yeah.
And so you've shown that, hey, that is a winnable game. You just fix those, kind of don't let things snowball on you in the third quarter, and you have a path to the area tournament.
Yeah, well, we talked with the girls, of course, earlier in the week, and they were kind of fired up about that possibility, knowing, hey, we, kind of felt like we let one slip in Elk City, so they were motivated to get back there to be able to get another crack at the Elkcats. They figured it would be Elk City or Weatherford probably they'd have to go through for that regional consolation championship. And kind of recap what went on around the Boomer games yesterday. In the winners brackets for the girls, Weatherford put up a dominant effort against Elk City. That was kind of surprising to see with how close those games have been previously.
Weatherford looked good.
Looked really good, so they bought themselves a chance into area and into the regional championship game, which will be tomorrow night against Kingfisher. Kingfisher handled this Mannford team pretty well that we're about to see here for going against the Boomers today. That was a 65-21 effort. Of course, Kingfisher, to be fair, has done that to a lot of teams.
Right.
Talk about really good. They're something special when they get rolling.
That is a team that will be playing in the big house on, probably Friday. They're probably going to get their first round game and have, take care of business there and be playing on Friday. They're a good team, well coached.
Yeah, so. Definitely be a surprise should they not be there, no doubt about it. On the consolation side, it was, of course, Woodward defeating Cash, as we mentioned. And then Clinton kind of, I don't know if you want to call it an upset, but they did outlast Cushing 32-29. So with it all being consolations today, on the girls' side, of course, you got Woodward and Mannford coming up here at 1 o'clock. And then the winner of this game will take on the winner of Clinton and Elk City. That one being played at 6 o'clock tonight. And that regional championship game, consolation championship game, will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. The boys' side, we're kind of waiting to see what happened with the Kingfisher Cushing game when we signed off. And that one ended in a wild fashion as Kingfisher able to win in double overtime, had a 10-point lead at the half early. Cushing fought back. They even got a three-quarters court shot to force, a double overtime.
I think that was to force the first.
I could be wrong,
but
one of those two, either force the first or force the second overtime.
And it was a missed free throw.
Yes.
To seal the game, and I can't remember who was at the line. It was Kingfisher was at the line. I can't remember.
I want to say it might have been Hayes White, but I could be wrong there.
But missed the free throw, and Cushing gets a rebound, and basically from the free throw line,
Dakota Chavez
heaves it up and knocked it down. So,
but through that, Kingfisher still surviving. So it goes back to what we were saying about them last night, playing some good ball at the right time. So they will play Weatherford for the area championship or the regional championship game here tomorrow night, 7:30. It means that Woodward boys, of course, later tonight will have that on Z92, but they'll take on Mannford as well, trying to get into the regional consolation championship. They'll already know their opponent because Cash and Cushing will play right after this Woodward Mannford game. And should Woodward win tonight, they would face the winner of Cash and Cushing. So might have a rematch there with Cushing. So you might see a rematch of the Buckle of the Wheat Belt Championship here on this floor, which would be real interesting. A lot of storylines there as Woodward defeated Cushing for that championship earlier in the regular season. So that's kind of how your bracket sits up as far as the consolation side today. But delving into this Mannford Lady Pirate squad a little bit, interesting season. 14-9 for them on the year. Like I said, did fall to Kingfisher 65-21, but they're coming off a really good 3-year stretch. We talked about it, of course, with Weatherford having, that type of stretch. Mannford maybe not necessarily the big house success that Weatherford's had, but when you look at their 3 seasons prior, 23-4, 22-4, and 20-8, and head coach Nathan Reed's first 3 seasons here with Mannford, I mean, that's a pretty good run to be able to do that. The only, I guess you could say, issue with that, with the talent they have graduated, they're a little thinner than what they've been in previous years in terms of the number of girls, and they're a little younger. Still got some seniors on the roster, but they're primarily relying, on some of those sophomores to really step up and take the mantle. So in a lot of ways, mirroring kind of what the Boomers have, right, where you got maybe 1 or 2 key seniors. Then other than that, it's for the most part a really young team. You can kind of see that in the results throughout the season, how they play, where it stretches. They look really good, can hang with a lot of teams, but then other times it's just not there for whatever reason.
Yeah, and it goes back to young kids, and if you have that culture built, and we're kind of Kingfisher boys. You kind of seen it with the Kingfisher boys, where they had some changes. They have built that kind of that culture. So once you kind of get the reset, kids get an opportunity to get on the floor, do some things. Then they're going to kind of say, okay, this is what's expected of us with this program. They're well coached. We talked about in pregame. They kind of went through a kind of a tragic situation several years ago with their previous coach, and who passed away from cancer, and a young guy, things like that. And I think it's a school and a town and a program that kind of got around him and his family. His family's still very involved, actually. Like, his kids come to a lot of games still and stuff, and and so you kind of get that, and it kind of builds that culture, and so that's kind of, they're going through one of those stretches that Kingfisher boys gone through, and even the Boomer girls, we've seen them grow throughout the year with the young kids once they get a chance to get on the floor and play some. So.
And, of course, when we look at some of the other classes, kind of highlighting what is going on as far as your areas kind of around the Woodward area. And, of course, got 2A, A, and B going through those. 2A, real fast name today, the Fairview girls. They're still alive. They'll take on Oklahoma Bible Academy at 1 o'clock. So they'll be playing here in a bit. Look at Class A Area 1. The Moreland girls. How about Moreland girls? 2nd year in a row they've gone to area, and they're trying to make a little bit of a run. They've got Okarche today, though. That's a tall task at 1 o'clock. The Sealing girls, no surprise for them, going for an area championship tonight against Red Oak. Look at Class B, the Lady girls. They're still alive. They're facing Frontier today at 1. The Arnett girls going against Lomega, the defending champs, for the area championship at 6 tonight on the boys' side there for Class B Area 1. You've got Deer Creek Lamont against Omega at 2:30 in a consolation game. Class B Area 2, Balco Forgan girls taking on Geronimo at 1. And the Hammond girls trying to capture another area championship. They've got Chattanooga tonight at 6. And the Hammond boys taking on Duke right after that for their area championship at 7:30. So as always, great to see a lot of top talent, if you will, in Northwest Oklahoma still alive, still battling through, and not to mention all the other teams that had some wonderful seasons and some good runs through the postseason as well. It's always, one of the better times of the year, I think, being able to see this come down to the final couple weeks, it's also a bit bittersweet knowing that basketball season, the end of it is right around the corner, if you will.
Yeah, I bet playoffs are kind of one of my favorite times of year, just because, again, there's just so much that goes into every game. It's not a matter of, saying, well, we've got the next game to think about. We've got so and so next week that we've got to prepare for. And, every coach says that we play for the next game, but no, they look ahead. There is some looking ahead. You're already starting to look at some, film and things like that. But when you're in playoffs, you've got to focus on that game that's right in front of you. There's always so much more energy. You get the casual fans in the community that don't have a direct connection to any of the kids necessarily. They'll start coming out for playoff games, and so it just kind of adds so much more to what those games are, and when you get those small towns and everybody's traveling and things like that, it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, great atmospheres for sure. But both teams here on the floor starting to get warmed up, going through their repetitions. I can tell you the Woodward girls today going to be the home team. So if you're watching on the stream, they'll be the white team today. Mannford rocking that purple, the road jerseys there for the Lady Pirates. And that'll be the matchup in terms of the jerseys today. So let's step aside for our first break, come back and break down what the Woodward girls got to do to be able to take it against the Mannford Lady Pirates today and continue to fight on in the regional consolation bracket. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV.
For more than a century, Bank of Western Oklahoma has stood by our communities, understanding the unique culture and values that make Western Oklahoma special. As a locally owned and operated bank since 1908, we're not just bankers, we're your neighbors. We've seen generations grow, businesses flourish, and farms thrive. And we've been there every step of the way. Trust in a bank that shares your roots and works as hard as you do. Bank of Western Oklahoma, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
The nest to the hive, so
we talked about that last night, which is going to be worse. Obviously, I don't think I want to be in a hive, so
yeah, for sure. But Eric, as we look,
we're both doing multiple things at once, trying to figure stuff out.
Anyways, as we look at the Woodward girls, mentioned the great performances, of course, from yesterday, but today changes things a little bit, right? I mean, to be fair, Cash did give you a lot of opportunities early to get into that game, but one point that Coach Godwin was making when he was with us yesterday on the broadcast was, it's a good point, because we've seen it with the Woodward girls, especially down the stretch a bit more, when they find that something's working, especially on the offensive end. You could see that confidence start to kind of build, over a couple possessions. It starts stringing together buckets, and all of a sudden the passing starts going crazy, and you're getting good looks inside. They're hitting threes. They're doing all those things. So, but for whatever reason, it just takes, it seems like, a couple minutes to get there, and not necessarily a slow start, but they got to get into the game that way. So how do you try to get them to do that from the jump? I mean, and that's tough to do with high school kids, because there's so much that goes on in their daily lives. Like the game, a lot of times you're ready for it, but it's not like they're professional athletes or college players. Right. They're spending the entire time training for it. I mean, they're focused on it, but how do you get those quicker starts, if you will, for Woodward?
I mean, I think on the coaching side, you just try to remind them of those stretches, and kind of, because it is about feeling. That's why that confidence comes, is because you're starting to feel good about things and all that kind of stuff, and try to remind them, hey, remember what it felt like, especially whenever you come into, a 1 o'clock game where there isn't a lot of going to be a lot of fans in here. There's not a lot of energy, and you got to kind of say, hey, you got to dig down and bring that yourself. That's a part of being an athlete in general, is kind of trying to get in the right mindset. That's for whatever we coached last 2 years, but especially last year with Coach Gaines, when she came in, she wanted them to kind of have a time to kind of get it out a little bit, and then especially in big games where we would leave the locker room a little bit earlier, kind of say, hey, now it's time for you guys to find your headspace, figure out where you're at, so whenever you step on that floor, you can bring everything you got. And so I think that's one of the big things for the girls, especially, where now it's, you're kind of in that, survive and advance mode.
Yeah.
You have to win the game or you're done. It's just try to get that mindset of, it doesn't matter what's going on, off the floor, that the 32 minutes that you're playing, between those lines, between the baselines, between the sidelines, it's got to be everything.
That it does. I also kind of, you played at 1 o'clock yesterday for the first time in a while, right? It had been a few weeks, a month or so without a tournament for you, so you hadn't been used to that earlier start time. Good news is now you should be reacclimated to that, right? Today and tomorrow, should you advance today. You got to think that's got to help a little bit with the comfort of the girls there. The routine stays similar enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And it allows, they're able to, a lot of times the struggle with living in Woodward is, you're having to drive so far to get places,
right.
But they were able to get home early enough. Some of them I saw around Weatherford last night, for the boys' games.
Oh, yeah.
Just
stayed around
awesome.
and watched, for sure.
But they were able to get home. They were able to, kind of get to sleep in their own bed, hopefully get the rest they need to come out, and fight. And hopefully, the fact that they played a game yesterday where they were on the floor, it was almost like a practice. And I don't want to try to take too much away from Cash.
Sure.
But that's kind of what it was. They were out there. They were staying loose. They were doing some things, but it wasn't overly taxing for them. And so hopefully, whenever they're going up against a little bit better squad in Mannford, they can bring it much more.
And we did see, to that point, some rough bumps yesterday for a couple of Boomer players. Bradley Douglas Fisher comes to mind, had that kind of scary fall right before half. Thankfully, she was out on the floor, and he looked fine yesterday. Fish that game, ran into her afterwards and talked to her, and she said, yeah, I'm good, I'm okay. Just kind of, in that moment, it's one of those that fall hurt a little bit, so she had to absorb it for a second, but once she did, she was fine.
Yeah, and that's what I think a lot of it is, kind of that mental aspect. But I talked to Mr. Sunderland today a little bit before we left, and where we're talking about our injuries and things like that we've had over, and this conversation came up because of Briley, but when you've had that injury and you feel something, you immediately were like, oh no, here it is. And that's what I told him about. I was like, man, my shoulder, every time I think I feel something, I'm like, oh, did I re-tear my
is it the shoulder?
did I re-tear my bicep again? Am I gonna have to go through all that again? So there is that, that aspect, that mental aspect whenever you go through the injury. But she's out there moving on it. She looks great right now. So I don't think that's definitely anything to worry about.
Yeah, and same goes for Taylor Floyd. We're worried. I know Coach Godwin was a little bit, maybe tweaked her ankle early in that game yesterday. You can tell maybe wasn't quite 100% the rest of the game, but she said afterwards, fine, going to be good for tomorrow. So, and it's, part of the playoffs, too, is that not everybody's always playing 100%. You're this deep in the season, you're going to have some sort of soreness or maybe twinge of a pain here and there. That's just the nature of it.
And sometimes, and I think it's awesome that they have that mindset. And usually by the time you get to high school, you have that mindset. But you got at the middle school level, there was times where it's like you're trying to help kids understand there's a difference between playing injured and playing hurt.
Right.
And you can play hurt. You just can't play injured.
Yes.
And so...
For sure. So, for the Woodward girls, talked about trying to pick up that intensity a little bit, I guess you could say today, or at least continuing on what you did yesterday in that sense. This Mannford team, when you look at them and look at that starting lineup, I mentioned going to rely on a couple of seniors, girls like Emily Tingley and then Charlie Hewitt. Kylie Hewitt is one of the players that they're replacing from last year. It was fantastic for him, had a really good career. And so you've got those two seniors now trying to fill that type of gap. And then they rely on some sophomores. You talk about Cambry Casey, Adley Elliott, and then Addison Pearson. All three of those girls, sophomores. Likely see them in the starting lineup tonight. I guess the big deal for Mannford, the Lady Pirates, is what's kind of hurt them this season compared to previous seasons. They don't have maybe some of the length they've had in previous instances. Some, the athleticism's there in a lot of senses. and the IQ and things of that nature. Obviously, Coach Reed, we talked about his success, very good coach on the Mannford side. But overall, this team isn't super deep in it either. They only got 10 girls on the roster. So in that sense, you know, we've kind of worried a little bit about Woodward's depth, right? You're playing in a tight rotation when Coach Moore's kind of keeping it tighter. It's 6, maybe 7 girls. Today, you probably don't have to worry about that as much because I don't know how deep this Mannford team's really going to try to go either. So in that sense, you might have kind of an evenness there for Woodward. The first time you've had that in a minute.
Yeah, you know, and I think that does benefit the Boomers because, you know, we have seen so many times where, you know, talent-wise, it's there. It's just when they get through these stretches where they get tired because they go get deeper teams. You know, and so I think that if the Boomers can kind of play right there and honestly, you know, make Mannford tired and frustrate them and maybe get them in foul trouble, things like that, that's only gonna be a benefit.
Yeah, well, and that's going to be kind of early goal for Woodward. Just because the youth of this Mannford team, sometimes that has reared its head. You talk about the frustration aspect of it, and we've seen it on all sides where you just string together a couple not great possessions, that starts to get to you, and that builds, right? That's what Kingfisher was able to do really yesterday against this Mannford team. You look up, and then Kingfisher's up by a lot. So that could definitely go down that way should Woodward be successful early in that. Great Plains Bank, Heritage, Trust, Respect. Those are the things that make Great Plains Bank great. With deep roots across Oklahoma and Texas, they are in touch with communities in which their customers live and work. Compass Athletics, from sports equipment to championship trophies and everything in between. 2024 Main Street, Woodward, or 580-256-7045. Great Plains Bank, Compass Athletics, powering Boomer Sports this season. So we know what Briley's going to bring to the table, Eric. She's going to be in that mode right now where it's, hey, I'm trying to get 20-plus a game. Part of that, maybe a little bit of factor of, as we talked about yesterday, the emotion of knowing, hey, this is kind of that last go-around, right? And you can see that with her, and she's aware of that. And then also, I mean, maybe chasing the personal goal, see how close she could get to 1,000 points. She entered the playoffs, you know, over 900. About 909 is what we said, I believe was the number. So see if she could get close to that 1,000. That's motivation. But at the end of the day, regardless, you know, if you want to keep marching on, you're going to have to get a lot around Briley as well to produce. Had a good start of that yesterday, but, you know, there's always something that you can refine and be better on, I guess you could say. And, you know, for you, when you look at this matchup, who else has to be a key difference today besides Briley Douglas Fisher? Is it Lexi kind of taking more of that mantle? Is it Kaylee? Is it both of them? I mean, who in your minds stands out and say this person has got to be able to produce today?
Yeah, the one for me right now is kind of Lexi. She's one that, and she's kind of. There's been a lot of times this year where, you know, she gets those slow starts, and, you know, there's been times where it hasn't really come on until the fourth quarter. She's done her job as far as, you know, as far as kind of being the floor general, moving the ball, things like that. But you know, she kind of needs to have that, you know, that hungry mindset of, I'm going to attack the basket. You know, do what I need to do to get to the rim, because that's only going to free up. Briley in other areas of the game as well. You know, and Kaylee's one of those. She just goes out there and she just plays.
Yeah.
You know, she's not what you would call a baller. She's a worker. You know, basketball is really her third sport. You know, and which she's one. It kind of makes me mad that. She's one of those that would make me mad, you know, as a student, because she's pretty solid at everything. Right. She's a good student. She's a great softball player. She's a good soccer player. She's a really good basketball player. You know, it's kind of like, you know, but she's going to go out there. She's going to give you everything, no matter where she's at, how she's playing, all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, I think for me, the big one is, you know, I'd like to, you know, see how, you know, Lexi steps up, you know, at times, especially early on in the game. You know, and then Taylor or Bailey and being confident the whole time they're out there on the floor. You know, and then whenever Culp comes in, you know, Culp giving you good solid minutes as far as, you know, allowing somebody to get some rest, but she's, you know, also making a difference in the game as well.
And I'm curious, too, to see if, you know, that trio of either, whether it's Ella Howard or Zoe Chavez or maybe even Kane Spore and somebody like that, who got some of that more significant time yesterday when Woodward had it in hand. Could they bubble into a game like this and provide you a solid couple minutes, right? We talked about Zoe Chavez at the end of the Cash game. Hey, she come in, played 5-6 minutes, wound up with 4 points, had some great opportunities for even more than that, and played hard. And you can say the same for those other girls. So maybe they showed some a little bit to where Coach Moore says, okay, let's give you a little bit higher stakes situation now to try to work on that.
And that's what just especially knowing kind of how how Zoe Chavez plays. Once she gets that confidence, to say I can go in there and I can play hard. All that anxiety goes out the window of being worried about not showing what she can show. Ella we've seen her confidence when she comes on the floor go up the past, really over the past month. The first several times she was able to get on the floor, it was kind of, you could tell her eyes got really big.
That freshman is always intimidating. No doubt.
Worried about making sure you get to the right spots and all that kind of stuff instead of going out there and playing. And that's what the more these young kids come in there. Zoe Smith, really yesterday was kind of the first time you saw her get some varsity action. And she's another one of those. Once she gets that confidence, she's an athlete. She'll just go out there and play and give you everything she's got. So, that's where that Cash game only benefits the Boo. Hey, see Jared Mitchell walking in here. That's a former Boomer for a while, then moved to Alva, but grew up in Woodward, so good to see that. Anyways, so. Like I said, I think that Cash game, those young kids getting an opportunity to come in there and play, only benefits them, and hopefully, if they need to come in and get those minutes to give somebody a rest, things like that, you can trust them in that aspect.
Oh, absolutely, and valuable minutes. So we'll get back to you mentioned Lexi Mendel, and just it really is remarkable how pretty much anything she puts her effort into, she excels at. I mean, it's incredible to see, and that's a unique gift that not everybody is able to have, right? And you mentioned part of that, and the key word in that, she's a worker. How many times we talked during softball where she would go have a great game, but she's like, still went to the cages this week, wanted to work on some things, and feel like it hit all that well. She's constantly trying to raise the bar for herself, no matter what she's doing. And, I think a lot of cases, Briley, to a degree, has taken that and, kind of feeds off that a little bit despite being a senior. But these other girls see that too. Kaylee Mills, you can apply that to a lot. These girls that plays multiple sports, they're just used to getting in there. Bailey Nelson, you could go on and on about those type of girls that just say, hey, if I'm in it, I'm invested, and we're going to work and just keep working.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is that's what makes it great when you do have players that play multiple sports. When you have athletes play multiple sports, is because they are kind of used to that mentality of just go out there, I'm going to give everything I got, because some sports they're better at than others, but that's the reason why they're willing to go through the work and all that stuff to play multiple sports, is because they do have that mentality. Unfortunately, like Woodward's in one of those situations where it's great that we have so many different people doing different things, but you also have, kids get tired, you know what I mean? And so, these girls are going to have to pull, especially when they get to soccer, when they get to track, things like that. By May, they're having to dig down as far as they can go to get the energy, but, but they're athletes, and they know that anytime they step on the court, anytime they step on the field, anytime they step on the pitch, for Coach Godwin sitting over there, they know they got to bring it no matter what.
Absolutely, and they do, no doubt about it. Now, what's at stake for these two teams today? Obviously, win or go home, we know that. But in terms of their, post-season performance in recent years, we talked about with the Woodward girls trying to emulate the run from a couple years ago where, they fell in districts to Elk City, but wound up coming back, beating Elk City in that regional consolation championship and getting to area. For Mannford, this is kind of new territory. They've been able to, in the last few years, due to the talent they've had, kind of sail through the regional, I would say, right, where either they're playing for the regional championship or they will, fall, I guess you could say, in a tight battle and then cruise through the consolation bracket. This is a unfamiliar to them starting out, having to get to this point and say, okay, now we're going to be in a real fight in day 2 of the regional. That's a little unfamiliar to them. So I bring that up because despite this kind of being as we mentioned, a newer cast, if you will, for Mannford, compared to the previous years, these girls have still seen what it's take to have that success and be part of that success. So if you're Woodward, you got to understand that it's probably not going to be easy to shake Mannford's confidence early in this game. You got to be ready for them to counterpunch whatever you're able to bring to start this game.
And that's the thing about, kind of where they've been at as far as, them saying, hey, we are expecting to be playing another weekend.
Yeah.
And so, even when they're struggling, they know that they're going to have to pull everything they can, or it's going to be a disappointment. You know what I mean? And so, unfortunately, the Boomer girls are kind of in a different standpoint of, hey, we're trying to reach that point.
Right.
We're trying to, build up to get back to the point where we're expected to be an area. And some schools are opposite where if they're in the consolation bracket in area, it's disappointing.
Sure.
And and kind of so. And again, you're trying. If you're a young team where that expectation is there, you've also you have that in your head. We don't want to be the group that kind of stops that stretch.
Absolutely. That's pressure all the time, no doubt. And of course, Coach, Moore, and talking with her about that, and we've talked about that throughout the season, wanting to get that expectation here. And she's told these girls multiple times, said, hey, we've shown, and I believe that you guys can play with anybody, right? You've shown that at times. So now you just got to continue to try to find that. Getting Oklahoma played, of course, as we get ready to get this thing underway. Everybody to their benches, and we'll get lined up for the national anthem, I believe, first, and then we'll have your starting lineups and opening tip-off coming up. Again, the Woodward girls, the home team today, so wearing the white uniforms, white tops, white bottoms, black trim, some gold around the shoulders as well, black numbers and text for Mannford, wearing the road purple uniforms, really the royal purple. So let's turn over for your national anthem and starting lineups.
Welcome to King Digital High School and the OSSAA Regional Basketball Tournament. This first game of the day between the Mannford Lady Pirates and the Woodward Vs. Activities and programs at King Digital High School primarily for the student participants. The purpose of the activities is to provide a positive learning experience and opportunities for personal growth for participants. We are pleased to host those from Mannford and Woodward today. This competition is being conducted according to the rules of the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association. Cheerleaders and visual spectators can and are expected to assist in promotion and achievement of good sportsmanship, ideally by taking the personal responsibility of keeping this contest at a high level of fair, clean, and wholesome competition. Good luck with both teams. At this time, we ask everyone to please rise and gentlemen remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
starting line for both squads and the 5 we expected for each team for the Boomers. Lexi Mendel, Taylor Floyd, Bradley Douglas Fisher, Bailey Nelson, and Kaylee Mills. Your 5 for Mannford. The Lady Pirates is Emily Tingley, Cambry Casey, Adley Elliott, Addison Person, and Charlie Hewitt. The starting 5 for Mannford. The 2 seniors, Tingley and Hewitt, in that lineup. As it will be tipping off for the Boomers as usual. Bradley Douglas Fisher, Woodward going to right to left in front of us. We're opposite the scorers table up top. Mannford going left to right. So by lined up, about ready to go. It's Person against Douglas Fisher for the tip. Sophomore and senior going at it. Ball in the air, 8 minutes on the clock, and the Boomers won the tip to begin this regional consolation semifinal matchup. It's Middle across the timeline, has it top the key to set up the offense. Right wing to Nelson. Zips it back down. Douglas Fisher in the paint, open, and cashes in. Good look early for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher getting to her spot and getting the first basket. Boomers take first lead, 2-0, 7:40 first quarter. Mannford back the other way with Person. She gets a high screen left wing, pulls up the deep jumper, 2-pointer, bit high off the back iron, and then a foul as Mills was trying to get the rebound. They just say poked off Mills.
Yeah, they just said
poked away from her. I'm sorry.
Somebody went over the kind of top and knocked it away.
Yep.
There was a lot of contact there, but
the whistle blew as she was taking the bump, so I thought it was a foul for a minute, not the kicks. But still Boomer ball after the rebound, not secured by either team, as it's Nelson on the right wing for Woodward. Cut off on her dribble, top the key to Douglas Fisher. And she's looking to attack, gets a high screen from Nelson, gets deep under the basket and got a little caught up there, cut off, and traveled with it. Tried to get the pass out, but was a little late. So, be a turnover back the other way for the Boomers. 7:10 first quarter. Woodward leads 2-0 here at Kingfisher. As this Person across the timeline. High on the left wing, crosses over on Nelson, drives to the basket, a little strong on the shot. Rebound fought for Hewitt. Can't corral it, and it goes out of bounds in favor of the Boomers. It's good take by the sophomore. She came up empty though for Mannford. As it's Mendel jogging across the half-court line. Top the key, left wing to Mills. She tacks a little bit on her dribble to the free throw line. Loses the handle, but simply flips it back to Mendel after she collects it. And on the right wing, dumps it to Douglas Fisher. Turns, trying to drive again. Good defense there underneath, though, by Elliott. Forces the miss for Douglas Fisher. Mannford with the board. They'll race ahead. Trying to bounce it to Hewitt. Deep right baseline. She takes the deep 2. That's way off. Rebound batted by Douglas Fisher. Gets to Floyd. She works it ahead to Nelson down the right side on the wing. Trying to throw it into Mills, and this time Mills is fouled as Mannford getting a little too physical, trying to deny her the ball. And they get Hewitt for the foul.
And I think that's something that maybe the Boomer coaching staff picked up on film, because they're really taking it at Hewitt. So I wonder if they kind of see that maybe she gets herself in foul trouble, and they're trying to do that, get her out early.
As the inbound for Taylor Floyd, beneath the right block to Douglas Fisher, takes it back out, takes the 3 from the right corner, in and out, just off. Rebound taken by Mannford. Good look for Riley. And now a pull-up 3 in transition the other way by Pearson. It's off the front of the rim, but rebound taken by Elliott. Feeds back to Pearson. She'll drive. Shot too strong there. Rebound fought for again. It's another one for Mannford as Pearson able to take it back and pull it out to the top of the key. Left wing, she's going to cross over, get the floater in the paint, and it hits the front of the rim and rolls in. So Addison Person trying to attack early. At that time found Nelson one-on-one, gets the basket. So 2-all, 5:35 first quarter. Boomers the other way. Mendel wants to attack from the top of the key, gets into the paint and draws the foul as she tries to go over 2 defenders for her shot. So send Lexi Mendel to the free throw line. Took some contact straight to the gut there. That's not the best feeling at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think he initially was thinking that it was full. Both players got their hands on the ball, but somebody was able to get their low hand and made the contact there.
First free throw from Mendel off the mark. And was the foul charged to Addison Person. Still 2-all, 5:33 first quarter. Woodward trying to retake the lead here as Mendel. Second free throw, high and goes in. So she's on the board with the point, and it's 3-2 in favor of the Boomers. Now their pressure on the backcourt as Mannford working around. They'll get it ahead. All the way down to the right block. An easy look as she's able to shake the defender. Emily Tingley, the senior, gets up and in for the Bride side. She's got a basket, makes it 4-3 in favor of Mannford. Spindle, top the key for the Boomers, right wing to Nelson. Thinks about attacking, now picks up her dribble, goes to Floyd up top. She's looking to pass. Finds Nelson again on the right side. Trying to get Douglas Fisher down on the block, not open. Hits Mills, free throw line. She'll pump, drive, the layup, just a bit strong off the left side. Rebound taken by Mannford and Tingley. She'll feed it over to Pearson. Tries to throw it ahead to Elliott. A little short there, but got it. And now Hewitt on the left wing having to battle through Kaylee Mills and gets knocked out of bounds by Mills. Raced out to try to steal that one away. Stays Mannford possession as they lead 4-3, 4:46 first quarter. The inbounds in the corner to Pearson. She's on that left side, guarded by Nelson. Now goes up top. So work the off-ball movement. On the handle was Casey. Swing it back around, Pearson top the key to Casey left wing. She looks to attack on Mendel. Good defense by Mendel, forces a loose ball there on the ground as Nelson and Casey and a jump ball possession arrow keeps it with Mannford. But a good job of Lexi Mendel by staying in front on the attack. It'll be 4:22 first quarter, 4-3. Mannford still on top with that possession on the right side. It's Tingley. Hands off to Casey. Back over to Tingley in the corner, looking to get Hewitt down low, able to get the shot up, but off the mark. Good defense by the Boomers. The rebound, though, an offensive one by Mannford as it got poked out. Now Pearson on the drive, puts up the shot off the back iron. It's out, and the rebound poked out of bounds, they say, by Mannford. So the Boomers, despite not being able to get the board, at least get the stop.
Yeah, great help side defense, too, by Briley. Kind of slide over there, just get big and stop Hewitt from getting an easy basket.
As it's Mendel, top the key, left wing to Mills. Directing some traffic. Out to Douglas Fisher, right side. Thinks about the three instead. Zips it down to Floyd on the right block. Trying to turn around, take the shot, and as denied by Cambry Casey as Mannford takes it back the other way. They'll feed ahead to Pearson. She's got it high left wing. The long, tall sophomore. Primarily ball handler for the Lady Pirates. She gets a screen, kicks in the corner. Three on the way from Tingley, and that's a little too strong. Rebound comes out to her, but Mendel able to poke it away. Mills gets it, and then her pass stolen away by Tingley, and then Mills steals it right back, poking it away from her. Crossover the other way. She's going to have a one-on-one to the right side of the basket. Up and in, and they'll get the and one. Count the basket. Kaylee Mills drove at her defender and got the foul and made the layup. And they will get, for that, be Cambry Casey. So her first. Kaylee Mills to the free throw line. Third team foul in the quarter for Mannford, to none so far for the Boomers. Free throw for Mills off the back iron at the front. So can't extend the lead. They take the lead though, 5-4 to the Boomers, 3:10 first quarter. Quickly Mannford the other way. Hewitt able to get down low and find a basket underneath. So Charlie Hewitt on the board with two. Mannford back ahead 6-5. 2:55 left first quarter. It's Mendel top the key. Left wing to Mills. Mannford still playing that man defense. Right side to Douglas Fisher on the wing. She looks to attack off the dribble and gets in and puts it off the glass. So Briley now with 4 of the 7 for the Boomers as they lead 7-6. Boomers trying to get a steal. It is. Mills taken away from Hewitt, and then Hewitt a bit of a frustration foul on the backside of that. And that's her second and the 4th in the quarter on Mannford with 2:38 remaining in the frame. That's where the Boomers got to get to, Eric, is generating those turnovers. Catch Mannford going too quick. And it's Floyd inbounding to a middle. Sorry. You're good. You're good. You're intense. You're in it. Left wing to Mills. Top the key, right side to Douglas Fisher. Up top to Floyd. Boomers working around the perimeter, trying to zip it down low. Finds Mills cutting in for the left wing, but her shot at the basket just a bit off, but they'll say poked out of bounds by Mills.
Boomers doing
or by Mannford, sorry.
Boomers are doing a really good job here early on and moving without the ball, and kind of putting themselves in spots that, if the cut's not there, somebody else is moving because they're pulling, essentially used as a decoy, pulling somebody else off. So
getting that defense moving a little bit for sure. Inbounds by Floyd, gets poked out of bounds, intended for Mendel. So now Mendel, the inbounder, goes right wing to Floyd, top the key to Nelson. Back over to Mendel, left wing. Wants to attack, cut off just about the elbow. Steps back, takes a bit of a heat check three. That's off the front of the rim. The rebound long, though, gets right to her. She's able to track it down and send it over to Taylor Floyd. Boomers extend the possession, leading 7-6. 2 minutes first quarter. It's Mills top of the key, dumping it down. Middle, cuts across. Oh, kisses it high off the glass and in from the right block. Good move by Middle. She's got 3. The Boomers lead 9-6, minute 45 first quarter. Mannford the other way with Pearson. Sends it right wing. 3 all the way, and that splashes home from Camry Casey. She tees up a 3 and nails it. The sophomore with the answer. We're tied at 9 with a minute 30 left in the first quarter. As it's Middle, top key for the Boomers. Left wing to Mills. Throws it up to Nelson. She's surveying on her dribble. Mannford has gone to a zone defense now. As it's right wing Floyd, cross court left side to Middle. Thought about the shot, now wants to drive, gets pushed. No call there. Right corner Floyd. She tees up the 3. It's off the back iron. Rebound fought for Douglas Fisher, trying to get it, but instead pokes it out of bounds. That'll be Mannford possession. So the Lady Pirates kind of changed it up, throw a zone there at the Boomers now. See how that affects things. Still tied at 9. Minute left in the first quarter. As Mannford trying to work it around the backcourt, they do get it across with Person. She goes backside, and cutting in was Tingley, but the pass too high and it sails out of bounds. Tingley was going to be open for a layup on the right side, but just couldn't haul in the pass. So it's a turnover for the Lady Pirates. 56 seconds remains in the first quarter. Still tied at 9, been a little bit of a defensive battle to start this one. As both teams trying to figure each other out. It's Mendel top key, right wing to Nelson. A little bit of a dribble by her, trying to bounce the free throw line to Douglas Fisher. Pass stolen away by Mannford. Put ahead, pass a little bit off. They have to collect it. Tingley does, sends it down low, and Elliott's able to go up and in for the basket. So Adley Elliott gets her first basket of the game, makes it 11-9. Back in favor of Mannford. 25 seconds first quarter. As Boomers have it top the key with Middle, left wing to Floyd. Baseline to Douglas Fisher, cross court right side to Nelson. Conley feeds it back up to Mendel. She'll take the 3, and that one's wild off the backboard to the left. Rebound taken by Mannford. 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. As this person trying to get across timeline, she's double teamed though. Sends it cross court right side on the wing to Casey. Back up top to Person with 2 seconds. Gonna have to get a shot up. She does at the buzzer and it rims out. And that is how we end the first quarter with Mannford on top of Woodward, 11-9 after 1. We'll step aside, come back with your second quarter. You're listening to Boomer Basketball, Z92 and Boomer TV.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Visit your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire, at 2220 Main in Woodward.
Back in Kingfisher, ready for the second quarter as the Boomers trail Mannford 11-9 after the first frame. Boomers on the possession. Begin the second quarter as Middle takes the inbounds pass, right wing to Douglas Fisher. Baseline to Culp, seeing her first time today. Nice pass in to Kaylee Mills, gets the basket from the right side. It's Kaylee Mills up and in. She's got 4. Boomers tied up at 11. Culp subbing in for Taylor Floyd at the end of the second quarter. As it's Mannford with Person. Attacking from the left wing, top the key. Another attack this time by Elliott, but she loses the hand all the way in, has to collect it. Now she's double teamed hard. The Boomers foul her, they say. She was able to collect and try to turn to put something up. So it'll be free throws for Adley Elliott.
That's a tough bailout type of foul where, you know, the ball kind of gets loose and you're trying to get a hand on the ball. You know, and she just, as she's trying to get a handle on the ball, she's moving forward. Your hand slips off, grabs her arm, There's going to be a foul.
And it was charged to Caitlin Culp, so she picks up her first of the quarter for the Boomers. Elliott makes the first free throw, makes it 12-11. Second free throw, high off the back iron. Rebound skied forward by Douglas Fisher. Pulls it down. Top of the key, goes left wing to middle. Baseline to Culp, dumping it into Mills again. She'll turn, put up the little hook, and it rolls in for Kaylee Mills. She's got 6 points. Back-to-back baskets for the sophomore. Makes it 13-12 in favor of Woodward. 7:10 left in the half. This person, a high left wing for Mannford. She likes that spot. Gets the screen, pulls up top the key for 3, and she nails it. So Addison Person, she's got 5. Makes it 15-13. Over the other way, right side. Nelson, baseline to Mills, up top to middle, swings the left corner. Douglas Fisher pumps, tries to attack, and then a pass that was intended to go to Caitlin Culp comes out a little too high, and Culp can't track it down as it sails out of bounds. So turnover there makes it 15-13, still in favor of Mannford. 6:45 left in the half as the Lady Pirates take it the other way. Person with 5 points, she's got the dribble on the left wing. Likes to attack from that side. There's a crossover, takes it off the bounce, and the layup just a bit off, but gets her on rebound. Able to send it to Elliott. Mid-range jumper below the free throw line, high off the back iron, bounces off the left side of the rim, and finally Kaylee Mills tracks it down for the Boomers. She'll feed it back to middle, jogs across the timeline, right wing to Douglas Fisher, inside to Mills, double teamed, and traveled, turned, and found 2 Lady Pirates right in front of her and caused an extra step.
Yeah, she tried to get it off as quick as possible. She made the pass, but unfortunately, they felt like she kind of picked up that pivot foot.
So looks like we got a timeout taken by Coach Lace Moore, the first of the ball game. R5 Customer Embroidery. When you work with R5, you can count on a quick, fun, and enjoyable process with results that consistently exceed expectations. Go chat with your screen printers about customized apparel. 817 Main Street in Woodward or 580-256-3579. And Western Drug, 1021 Oklahoma Avenue in Woodward. They've got a friendly and caring staff in their drive-thru window that is convenient. Always excellent service as well. 580-256-5586. Western Drug R5 powered Boomer Sports this season. So the pace is kind of, I wouldn't say not where Woodward wants it to be, but you want to see him get after it maybe a little bit more, because it feels like if you get this Mannford team sped up a bit, Eric, they can start getting out of control.
Yeah, to me, it's just a lot of what the Boomers are kind of going through right now is kind of being a little flat-footed or heavy-footed, however you want to, more heavy-footed, where you're just, especially, rebounding. We've allowed 4 offensive rebounds to Mannford, and, they've converted on a couple of those, and, that's the difference in the ballgame right now.
So as Mannford has out of the timeout, up 15-13. They'll swing it around the corner, 3 all the way for Tingley right side. That's off the backboard, rebound loose, and Hewitt can't track it down. But they say the Boomers were the last to touch. A couple of them were battling with Hewitt on the backside of that one. So it stays Mannford possession. Inbound coming beneath the right block. As the inbound goes to Hewitt in the corner. Swinging around. Back to Casey. The right side. She goes to Hewitt top of the key. She'll drive, gets in, steps through for the layup, but it's off the backboard too strong. Rebound taken by Douglas Fisher. Finds middle, racing down the left side, tries to put up the shot, and it was blocked, they say, by the Lady Pirates. As this person taking it back the other way down the right side, getting past Douglas Fisher, Euro step in the lane. Her runner, too strong off the glass, off the rim. Rebound again by Mannford. A 3 by Hewitt, left wing, off, but another board by the Lady Pirates. They work it out. Casey with the 3. That one clanks off. Rebound taken by Nelson underneath for the Boomers. Feeds it ahead to Douglas Fisher. Zips it over to Mills in transition. The foul and the shot just leaks off the front of the rim, but Kaylee Mills will go to the line for 2 shots. The Boomers could get down the board and attack in transition. They could do some good things, but you got to get that board first.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
You've just got that. Mannford's now up to 7 offensive rebounds, because we've had 3 really quick ones out there.
And the first free throw for Mills does fall, makes it 15-14. She's got 7 of the Boomer 14. The foul was on Tingley, the senior, her first of the quarter for Mannford. Second free throw upcoming for Mills. Couple dribbles, dips and shoots. That one good as well. Kaylee Mills solid at the line. She's got 8 leading the Boomers, and back tied at 15 now with 5:20 left in the half. Person that will slowly walk it across the timeline. Goes right side to Casey. In the corner, we'll find Maxville, but a turnover underneath by Mannford. Racing back the other way. Douglas Fisher will take it and try to drive, and she's fouled on her way up. Oh, they're saying on the floor. Okay. Looks like they said on the floor, not a shooting foul. And they'll get Casey for her second. Team second of the quarter as well. They say it's on the floor, not a shooting foul for Douglas Fisher. Being in bounds, Nelson beneath the right block. Gets out to Mills on the wing, top the key to Mendel. Left side back to Nelson. Finds Douglas Fisher on the backside, but her pass a little too strong, and Douglas Fisher just can't haul it in as it sails out of bounds. So back to the Lady Pirates. 4:56 left in the half. Still tied at 15. Neither team's been able to find any separation. The largest lead either way has been 2 points. That's just how this game has gone early. As this person trying to dribble it up. Just walks it across. Get the call from Coach Reed. Right side over to Maxville. Dipping it in the corner to Elliott. Goes up top. That was Casey now. Elliott trying to drive. Misses the first chance, but Hewitt able to get it underneath. Try to put it back up, and she is fouled. They'll send Charlie Hewitt to the free throw line. Hewitt's been working underneath pretty strong right now when she's in there. Helping a lot of those offensive rebounds. They'll get Caitlin Colt for her second foul. First free throw for Hewitt, up and in. She's got 3. See Taylor Floyd check back in for Colt. That's a 16-15 in favor of Mannford. Second free throw for Hewitt, up, and that one off the back of the iron. Rebound taken by Floyd. But then it's ripped away from her as Casey comes in and steals away from behind. It's up to Person. She'll pull up straight away 3. Heat check there. That's out. High off the rim, and rebound taken by Douglas Fisher with the strong board. Flips ahead to middle, right wing, pumps. She'll try to drive, gets in through some traffic. Layup too strong, gets her on board, puts it back up. That's still no good. Now it's a scrum on the floor. Girls trying to track down the board, and Mannford, the last to touch, as trying to pick it up was Cambry Casey, but she had a foot out of bounds in doing so. So essentially stay with the Boomers. 4:10 left in the half. Woodward trails 16-15. Floyd the inbound, right elbow to Douglas Fisher. Catch and shoot. She nails it. The long 2 for Douglas Fisher. She's got 6. Her and Kaylee Mills combined for 14 of the 17. Middle has the other 3. Mannford the other way with Elliott down the left side trying to drive. Gets cut off, turns around, puts up the jumper, just rimmed out. Rebound underneath on the backside by Maxville, but then her shot affected and blocked, and eventually Mills able to come up with it. Boomers hang tight again underneath as it's Floyd taking the handle, top the key. Left corner, Nelson, catch and shoot 3 for her, and that one too strong. Just kind of hopped on it. Backside rebound by Mannford as they calmly look at the Person. 3:30 left in the half. Boomers lead 17-16. Maxville on the right wing, back up to Person. This will be guarded by Lexi Mendel. Person looking to attack off the dribble, and she does. Gets to the paint, puts up the shot, and it's halfway in and out. Hit the glass and rimmed out. Rebound taken by Mills underneath. Gets it over to Nelson down the right side. Near the corner, Douglas Fisher. She'll try to drive, sends it inside to Mills. Oh, and they'll say poked out of bounds by the Boomers. Thought Mills got poked away from her, but not the case.
Yeah, it looked to me like Pearson was the one who kind of knocked it out of Kaylee's hands, not out of bounds, but unfortunately, it's ultimately what the guys in gray say.
That's right. That is right. So it's Mannford the other way again, trailing 17-16 to the Boomers. 2:50 left in the second quarter. Pearson left wing. She goes up top to Hewitt. She'll launch the 3 straight away off the back iron. Douglas Fisher, a strong board underneath over Elliott, all by herself, going one-on-one on Hewitt. Leans into a little bit of that contact. The shot just rolls out. Floyd trying to get the rebound, but she can't. Casey near the baseline, but apparently not on it.
It looked like she was on there.
Oh, so
from
close.
Our standpoint.
It's right there. As Person able to take it and has the handle. She's got a double team now. Tries to send it baseline, does to Tingley. Works out to Hewitt. Tees up the 3 left wing, and that's an air ball. Rebound underneath by Douglas Fisher. She's getting pressured from behind, but able to get across the half-court line. Has it top of the key. Conley sends it to Nelson left wing. Pumps. Thinks about trying to drive. Instead, just holds it near the top as Middle comes to her and takes it. 2:05 left in the half. Boomers lead 17-16. Left wing to Floyd. Baseline to Douglas Fisher. They work it over to Nelson, a right corner three, just a bit off. Douglas Fisher gets the board, trying to put it back up, and she is fouled as her and Tingley crash to the floor. Douglas Fisher kind of just had to try to fade away and put it back up. But able to draw that foul. And they'll get Adley Elliott, who was there as well. Her first foul. Third of the quarter for Mannford. Riley at the line with 6 points. Make it 7 as she sinks the first free throw. 18-16, the Boomer lead. Could be their biggest of the game should Douglas Fisher make this one. Second free throw good as well. She's got 8, tying Kaylee Mills for the team lead. And it's 19-16 in favor of the Boomers. So we're at a minute 50 left in the half. This person in the backcourt for Mannford. High left wing tries to send a pass cross court. Picked off by Lexi Mendel. She'll feed ahead to Floyd, and Person able to get back and get a hand on it to knock it out of bounds. Lexi Mendel, man, I'm telling you, she's got some. If we ever need a defensive back, she's got some skills to read that stuff.
Definitely reads it. I mean, that's kind of a softball skill that she has.
Yes. Oh, and they got a 5-second call underneath on the Boomers of Floyd trying to get in the inbounds.
That was a fast 5 seconds.
Fortunate there for Woodward. Results of the turnover. So it's Mannford taking it back with Person. Working the ladder now between her and Casey. Getting it across. Goes left wing to Elliott on the elbow. Hewitt trying to drive. Poked at by Mendel. Stolen away by Nelson. Then she's poked at right across the timeline. Sends it up to Floyd on the right wing. Dumps it to Douglas Fisher below the right elbow. Steps back. Takes the long two. That one a bit short. Rebound taken underneath by Tingley. She'll work it out. Gets it ahead to Casey for Mannford. Races down the right side. Stops on the right wing. Sends it over to Person. Tees up a long three from the left wing. That's an air ball. Rebounded underneath by Douglas Fisher. She simply sends it up to Mendel in the right corner. Floyd wide open. She'll take the three. That's high off the back iron though. Rebound collected by Hewitt. And then an offensive foul on Hewitt. Took the board and threw a little elbow there.
She's kind of questioning like where the foul was, but I don't think there was any kind of questioning that. That was pretty obvious.
Yeah. So that'll be the third now on Hewitt. She'll have to sit. So the senior, been one of the key rebounders underneath her, driving that. She's out for a little minute. 58 seconds left in the half. Boomers on the possession. Inbounds. Works its way to Mendel, right side. Trying to cross over. Does. Gets in for a leaner. Right baseline. It's too strong, but Mills on the backside able to clean it up off the glass. Kaylee Mills with 10. A strong first half for her. Boomers lead by 5. 21-16. 40 seconds left in the half. As this Person across the timeline, goes right side, high wing to Casey. Trying to go back over to Person. That's batted away, stolen by Floyd, all by herself down the right side for the layup. Easy for Taylor Floyd. And now Boomers starting to get a little space, 23-16 with 20 seconds remaining in the half. Again, Mannford pressured a bit, but Pearson trying to throw it ahead, and Mills batting that away. And you could hear the Boomer bench getting active in it, liking what they're seeing.
Yeah, that zone's doing a great job of kind of spreading out and kind of paying attention to who's around them, you know, and kind of baiting them into making these long passes.
It's Mannford on the possession, still 15 seconds left in the half. It's Person top of the key. Here the right side now, guarded by Mendel. She's holding, looking at the clock with 9. Sends in the corner. Casey will take a corner three. Good closeout by Douglas Fisher, but underneath, Tingley able to sneak in, get the putback, and draw the foul. It's an and-one for Emily Tingley. She's got 4, and let's see who they get for the foul from the Boomers. It's going to be Nelson. That's her first. That's third of the quarter for the Boomers. So 23-18 with 3.9 left in the half. Chance for Tingley, cut it back to 4. Free throw, though, off the back iron. Douglas Fisher with the board, trying to race ahead. A half-court heave at the buzzer, and it comes up a bit short. And that's how we end the first half. Woodward leading 23-18 at the break. We'll step aside, come back with your halftime stats and recap. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, Pipe Lanes Tire.
Feel safe and secure with Arlo Wireless Outdoor Camera, available at Pioneer. Arlo offers top-notch protection with crystal clear video quality, rain or shine. Monitor your home from anywhere with remote smartphone access, whether you're at home or on the go. Arlo keeps you connected to what matters most. Trust Arlo and Pioneer to keep your home safe and secure. Visit gopioneer.com to get your Arlo wireless cameras today.
And at Kingfisher at the half, the Boomers lead 23-18 over the Mannford Lady Pirates. Let's look at your halftime stats. Your High Plains Tire halftime stats for Woodward. A couple scores showing out early. It's Kaylee Mills with 10 points leading the way, and then Briley Douglas Fisher has 8 of her own, 3 for Lexi Mendel, 2 for Taylor Floyd. For the Boomers on the Mannford side of things, it is Addison Person leading with 5 points. She's made a 3-pointer as well. And the scoring pretty spread out for them. Emily Tingley with 4, 3 apiece for Cambery Casey, Adley Elliott, as well as Charlie Hewitt. Hewitt getting in some foul trouble there for Mannford in that first half. She winds up a 3, does the senior. She was only one with 2 or more. Well, I say that Casey has 2 as well. For the Boomers, in terms of fouls, didn't think we had any big foul trouble. Caitlin Culp did have 2, so you have to monitor that. Otherwise, Boomers only fouled 3 times in that first half. Twice from Culp, once from Nelson. So played a pretty clean game. Otherwise, Eric, how are we looking on the boards and the turnovers, things of that nature?
Yeah, honestly, you talked about the clean game, and that's the Boomers are doing a great job defensively, but rebounds has kind of been the one thing that we've seen that multiple times this year. Right, the rebounding total, and this says how many missed shots there were kind of on both ends of the floor, but it was 22-22 was the rebounding on each side. And a lot of times that's the total for a full game. So a lot of rebounds, 10 offensive boards for Mannford, though. That's the one thing the Boomers got to do a better job of cleaning up. Leading rebounding for the Boomers is Riley Douglas Fisher. She's already got 8 rebounds. Mills has 6 rebounds, so double-double watch eventually for both of them. Mendel has 2 offensive boards. Nelson and Floyd each have a defensive rebound apiece. So one good thing we saw, especially kind of late in the second quarter, was the Boomers defense kind of stick it up and kind of in that half court to three-quarter court zone where they forced some turnovers. Mannford has turned the ball over 9 times, and of those 9 turnovers, 5 of them have been steals. Mills has 2 steals. Mendel, Nelson, and Floyd each have a steal. So, and then the Boomers are doing a good job of moving the ball around as well. 5 total assists, 2 of which came from Caitlin Culp. So, there's a lot of good things the Boomers have done. And it's kind of the second chance opportunities that they've given Mannford.
Right.
That's really kind of why it's even the game's where it's at.
I said this to you off during the break there, but it really feels like Woodward could be up by 10 at this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a credit to how well we feel they are playing. It's just, and we talked about in the pregame with Mannford, they're not going to go away. Obviously these, as we mentioned, for the most part, are not the girls that accomplished that 23-4, that 22-4 season the last couple of years, but they got to witness that coming up and kind of be around that. So you can tell, Addison Person is really impressive with the confidence she shows as a sophomore to lead the offense the way she does. And you can tell the girls kind of rally around that a little bit when it comes to Mannford. But, for the Boomers, it just feels like you've got, for the most part, other than those offensive rebounds, control of the aspects of the game you want. You finally started, as you were mentioning, to get Mannford to turn the ball over a little bit because you sped them up enough, right? Especially in that pressure with the three-quarters type of pressure to get them to bait into long passes, which Woodward, Floyd, Mendel, those girls all did a really good job of reading that in that second quarter.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we kind of talked about as far as we talked about in the pregame, slow starts. We were getting some slow starts, and we kind of talked about it, I think maybe the first and second quarter where the heavy feet. The Boomers seem to be kind of heavy, kind of slow getting places, things like that, and you see that. You've seen that in the rebounding. There's been a couple times, especially the last offensive board and putback that Mannford got, where shot goes up and you're kind of expecting the shot to come off the rim, and you have a better opportunity, and so you kind of waiting for that. Well, it goes straight down, and a Mannford girl comes around.
Right.
You know, and that's what, you know, you teach young players is, you know, a shot goes up. Your first thing you want to do is you want to fill not trying to say it, fill your butt in somebody. You know,
you got to identify a target
right.
box out.
You know, shot goes up, you get into somebody, you push them out as far as you can, and then when the ball comes down, you go get the ball.
Sure.
You know, and there's been a few times where that's not, you know, the Boomers have shot goes up, Boomers are looking up, just stay in their spot to go get it, instead of creating that creating the separation between the other player and the ball. You know, so that's one thing the Boomers got to do a better job here going into the second half. Look
at the quarter scoring. It was Mannford up 11-9 after one. Boomers did a good job to flip that in the second quarter, winning the second quarter 14-7. That's your High Plains Tire halftime stats and recap. Visit High Plains Tire, 2220 Main Street in Woodward. It is where your dollar goes further. We'll step aside for a break, come back. Some of those keys to the second half for the Boomers as they look to continue to fight on in this regional tournament. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Are you looking for a bank that understands your needs and works as hard as you do? Welcome to Bank of Western Oklahoma, proudly serving our area since 1908, offering free checking with no monthly fees and convenient mobile banking. Whether you're in Cordell, Elk City, Weatherford, Woodward, or any of our 6 locations, we're always nearby. Bank of Western Oklahoma, where the Western Oklahoma spirit is alive and well. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Back at Kingfisher as we got both teams back on the court out of the locker room as they start warming up for the second half. So Eric, other than, you know, trying to attack those boards like we talked about for the Boomers, what's kind of the big thing in your mind for them to be able to not only hold on to those 5-point lead, but kind of keep that double, maybe extend it and put away the Mannford Lady Pirates in the second half?
You know, besides the rebounding, it's just continue to move your feet on offense. You've done a great job kind of in the half-court set, you know, as far as cutting players off. It really, you know, honestly, like we said, you know, I can think of at least 2 baskets that were directly off of offensive rebounds. You know, so you're forcing some bad shots, you're forcing turnovers, things like that. Just continue to do all the little things, then you take care of the rebounding issue, and I think you have a great opportunity to, you know, continue to win this game, and you're playing again tomorrow afternoon.
That is the goal. The girls, should they win this, would face the winner of Clinton and Elk City. That game being played tonight at 6 o'clock here in Kingfisher. The regional consolation championship game would be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Salient State Bank now with the branch in Woodward. The new location, 2314 Williams Avenue. Salient State Bank Woodward branch includes personal checking, savings, home and commercial loans, online banking, and wire transfers, much more. M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop for your best lawn, porch, or patio. M&D are your people. They carry everything you need to make your greenscape that little piece of heaven you've always dreamed of. Locations in Woodward, Canton, and Weatherford. Salient State Bank and M&D powering Boomer Sports this season. Ready for the second half. It's Mannford starting with the possession to begin the quarter. As they work right to left in front of us. We're opposite the scorer's table up top. The Boomers going left to right this half. It's Person, top of the key, right wing. She sends the left side to Tingley. Near the free throw line to Hewitt, who's playing with those 3 fouls. She gets double teamed, tied up, jump ball force, possession arrow to the Boomers. Mills and Mendel in on that pressure. Makes it turn in favor of Woodward, 7:41 in the third quarter. As the Boomers lead 23-18. Mendel sends it right side to Nelson. Tries to bounce it down to Douglas Fisher, and essentially kicked out of bounds by Mannford. So reset for the Boomers with Nelson, the inbounder, on the near side. She calmly flips it into middle. Mannford is stuck with that zone after trying man early. Left wing to Floyd. Gets it to Mills on the baseline. Up top, back to Mendel. Looking to dump it down to Douglas Fisher, though. Good read by Elliott to step in front, bat the pass. Winds up being a steal for Mannford. Person sends ahead to Elliott, who ran before, and she misses her shot. A close one from the right side. Good defense by the Boomers. Rebound taken by Douglas Fisher. Ahead, Mendel, right side. Takes the three and splashes it home. Lexi Mendel with a three. She's got 6. Makes it a 26-18 point, or a 26-18 advantage, I should say, in favor of the Boomers. 6:52, third quarter. As this Person, high left wing, double team, poked out by Nelson. Now Mendel trying to get at her. She's able to collect it, send it right side to Tingley, and the corner to Hewitt. Back up top, Person looking to attack from the left wing, dribble, drive. A little short on her floater from the left side, off the right side of the rim, and a pass from Douglas Fisher had to Mendel off the mark as Mendel tried to save it, does, but it goes right back to the Pirates. This Person in the backcourt trying to go right side to Casey, and Floyd runs over and bats it into the scorer's table.
Bradley now has 10 rebounds already today.
She's been on kind of that stretch where if she's not getting double-digit rebounds in the game, she's been real close. Put up some double-doubles down the final few games of the season. Has this Person on the dribble for Mannford. Sees the double team coming, goes left wing to Tingley. Trying to go back to Person. Mendel almost comes up with the steal. Now pressuring her high left wing. She tries to dribble away from it. Gets a bit of a screen from Hewitt. Swinging right back to Tingley left side. Top to key. Hewitt sits up, takes the three straight away. It's off the back iron, rim it out. Rebound underneath by Floyd. Now she's poked out and they say fouled. And not the foul you wanted for Coach Reed. That was full court for Mannford.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of a frustration foul because you felt like you had position and Taylor kind of snuck around there and was able to get the rebound, and so then you're just trying to make up for it and make a stupid foul.
And that will be the second on Adley Elliott. 26-18, Boomers lead. 5:50 third quarter, trying to push that advantage. As it's Nelson top the key, finds Mills on the elbow, zips it over left baseline to Douglas Fisher. Back up top to Nelson. She'll pump. She'll drive into the paint, puts up the right-handed floater. Not quite there. They'll say poked out of bounds by Nelson, trying to follow her own shot for the board. Went off the glass, a little bit of a rim. This Person will walk back up the court for the Lady Pirates. She's picked up by Mendel, throws it right side to Casey in the corner. Tingley, free throw line. Hewitt zips it down to a wide open Elliott. Boomers forgot about her on the left block, and Adley Elliott now with 5. Makes it 26-20. Still in favor of Woodward. 5:15 third quarter. As Floyd on the dribble goes top the key to Nelson. She scans, starts to use her dribble, tries to throw it in the corner to Douglas Fisher. A bat by Tingley. She steals it, races the other way. Floyd gets back, forces the miss, but following it up is Casey, who then draws the foul on the second chance. So Cambry Casey to the free throw line for Mannford.
Yeah, Kaylee's going to be charged with the foul. She has put herself in a good position to get the rebound, but she was also, her momentum was still going. She ran right over the top of her.
Just the first foul for Kaylee Mills in this game. At the free throw line, Casey, the first one falls. Also good job by Floyd to at least get back and prevent an easy layup on that first attempt by Tingley. 26-21, Boomers lead by 5. Second free throw, it's off the back iron, rebound fought for. Floyd comes up with it for the Boomers. She'll just simply handle it in the backcourt and take it across the half-court line. As on the right wing, goes top the key to Nelson. Boomers try to move off ball. Nelson looking to the left side, not there. Now picks up her dribble. Finds Floyd coming back to it. 4:40 left in the third quarter. Boomers lead 26-21. It's Douglas Fisher in the right corner. Takes the pass. Swing it back around Nelson, left side. Pumps, tries to drive. Just sends it to Mills. Mills launches left corner three. That's a bit off the back iron.
Not used to seeing her take a three.
Absolutely not. But hey, I mean, had the range. Just couldn't quite get it to fall. Mannford back the other way. Person top the key, picked up by Mendel. Looking to drive as the sophomore. Mendel swats her straight up. Rebound taken by Douglas Fisher. She'll race ahead. One-on-one with Tingley, and Tingley tried to draw the charge to no avail. Douglas Fisher an easy layup. And she's got 10, so joining Kaylee Mills with 10 as well. Boomers lead by 7, 28-21, 3:55 left third quarter. After the other way open is Casey left wing for 3. That's off the mark right side, but a rebound underneath, a putback by Tingley. Comes up just a bit off, but it'll be Tingley to the free throw line. So another second chance, another board. As that foul charge to Nelson, her second. Second foul of the quarter for the Boomers as well. Tingley's first free throw misses wildly to the left. As Caitlin Culp will check in for Lexi Mendel, give her a little bit of a breather. Boomers have kept the rotation at 6 today. Culp the only one off the bench so far. Second free throw for Tingley. That one halfway in. It pops out. Rebound taken by Person, and then she is fouled underneath. Was able to get that position right in front of Kaylee Mills, who I believe gets the foul. And it is. That's Mills' second. Boomers' third foul of the quarter. 28-21, Boomers still lead, but Mannford trying to cut into that with 3:49 left third quarter. As Casey beneath right block, inbounds it to Elliott. She stops at the right elbow, leans in for the little jumper, and able to get it to rattle around and fall. Adley Elliott with 7. Cuts back to a 5-point game, 28-23. Nelson for the Boomers, right elbow to Culp on the baseline to Mills. Top the key, Floyd swings over to Douglas Fisher. Open left corner for 3. Oh, halfway in, it rims out. Rebound taken underneath by Casey. She'll race ahead for Mannford. Sends the left side to Person. Drives in the paint, takes some contact, hits the basket, and draws the foul. It's an and 1 for Ass and Person. And a tough take. Cuts it to a 3-point game, 28-25. Has the foul charge to Taylor Floyd, her fourth of the quarter for her.
It is the third quarter.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, this is kind of, third quarter has kind of been the bugaboo for the Boomers this year.
It's like, where are you going with that? Free throw from Person off the back iron. Stays at a 3-point ball game. Rebound taken by Mendel. Yeah, that's because you talked about with Coach Moore. She's like, can we just play without halftime? Yeah. Boomers trying to drive the other way. Mills gets in deep off the pass and able to draw the foul. Shot off with a good take by Kaylee Mills. And she'll head to the free throw line. And they will get the third foul on Adley Elliott.
Tyler, we've already established that I am number 1.
Yes,
why are you questioning
that's right,
me?
on the board, yeah. Free throw by Mills, up and in. And now timeout before the second free throw for Mills. And that will be taken by Coach Reed and Mannford. Smith & Co. Auction and Realty, Oklahoma's real estate and land auction experts. Smith & Co. is your number 1 choice for all your land auctions and real estate needs. 580-254-3975 or email Ira at smithcorealestate.com. Great Plains Bank, Heritage, Trust, Respect. Those are the things that make Great Plains Bank great. With deep roots across Oklahoma and Texas, they are in touch with communities in which their customers live and work. Great Plains Bank, Smith & Co. powering Boomer sports this season. It's 29-25. The Boomers lead by 4. There's still a free throw to come from Kaylee Mills to make it potentially a 5-point game once again. And Kaylee, right there with Briley, having a very, very solid day so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, we've seen Kaylee kind of pick up 2 quick fouls, here a couple minutes ago, but both her and Briley have done a great job. We talked about how, in the pregame that, Kaylee's just the type of athlete. She's going to go out there. She's going to play hard no matter what. And she's showing that today. She's showing why she's such an important part of this Boomer girls squad.
Second free throw for Mills, rims out. From the right to the left, rebound taken underneath by Elliott and Mannford. Person slings it ahead to Casey. They worked a little bit of ladder, get it across. Finds Elliott on the backside along 2 from the right baseline, able to fall for Adley Elliott. She's starting to heat up. She's got 9. 2-point ball game, 29-27. Boomers still lead. Nelson the other way for the Boomers. Right side, left wing to Mendel with 2:45 left third quarter. Mendel evaluates, sends an elbow to Mills, and she raised it high and got forced into a jump ball there. Person on it.
Boomers on defense are going to have to kind of get those heavy feet are back, and we saw that really on that last possession where things that they were doing well in the second quarter, towards the end of the second quarter, they're not right now, and they need to figure out a way to get that energy back.
2:30 left in the half. Mannford trying to get potentially a tie or a lead here on this possession. As this Person top the key with it. Picked up by Nelson. Double team comes as Middle races over as well. They've got her high right wing. They work it around, find Casey at the top of the key. Trying to force it out of Person's hands right now. As they get to Hewitt, free throw line. She'll tee up a jumper from there off the front of the rim, so much so that it went right on top of Douglas Fisher. Didn't really have a chance to react to it, but she gets the rebound. as she calmly gets it to Nelson, ahead to Mendel on the right wing. Thinks about the shot, now steps in, almost trims it off her foot. Sends it to Culp right side, into Mills, finds her shot through a double team. Shots off, but Kaylee Mills fouled again and goes back to the free throw line. Doing a really good job getting some deep position.
I think this is going to go against Elliott. That'll be her fourth.
It is. So that's a big one because she's starting to heat up from the field. Leading the team with 9 points is Adley Elliott. Now with her fourth foul. Seems that Angie Renee Carvajal getting ready to check out. As Mills hits her first free throw, Carvajal does step in. She'll spell Elliott, the third senior in this Mannford lineup. Second free throw for Mills, too strong, so she'll split the pair again. Remains 30-27 in favor of the Boomers. Minute 50, third quarter. As this person on the half-court line just about, and she got bumped and fouled by, looks like Lexi Mendel. It is. That's her first. And that is the fifth of the quarter for the Boomers, so unfortunately that does send Ass in person to the free throw line. Chance to cut it to a 1-point game. First free throw off the back iron, high, hits the front and falls in.
And the fact the Boomers did such a good job in the first half, but now they've already got 5 fouls. Another indication of them kind of playing.
Yeah, just coming out of that half court or
right.
halftime, like you're saying.
Playing a little bit slow, they're getting beat, so it's causing them to kind of make some stupid fouls.
Second free throw for Person off the mark. Boomers get the rebound with Floyd. Sends it right corner to Douglas Fisher. Back up top to Floyd, left wing to Middle. Minute 30 left in the quarter. Left corner to Culp. Top key back to Middle. Mannford not straying from that zone after they've gotten into it. As the Floyd trying to get in the corner to Mills. Batted, but Mills able to collect it. Just trying to get some movement inside, but doesn't there right now. Finally, Floyd tries to zip it in to Douglas Fisher. Does, but they have to work it back out. Didn't like the look. Left wing to Mendel. It's minute 5, third quarter. Mendel looking to attack, but steps back out. Right side to Floyd. Into Culp. Sees the double team. Draws the foul on her shot as the shot off, but Kaylin Culp now to the free throw line. So the Boomers are finding that weakness in the zone where if they could get, whether it's Kaylin or Kaylee or Briley, somebody just right in the middle of that paint at the right time. It's opening up that look. It has now the 4th foul on Charlie Hewitt as well. So 2 players with 4 fouls for Mannford. First free throw for Culp off the back iron, but falls in. It's her first point of the game. Now send in Carly Maxville to the game for Mannford. As Hewitt has to step out. Again, that bench not very deep at all for Coach Reed. Second free throw on the way for Culp. Too strong off the back iron. Floyd, though, able to track down the rebound. Quickly double team. Works it out to Middle. Boomers extend the possession. Leading 31-28. 55 seconds left third quarter. Floyd takes it right corner. Dribbles out of it. Still on that dribble on the right side. Seeing some pressure. Just swings it back calmly to Middle. Top of the key. Trying to dump it down to Mills. Pass, though, just a bit too strong. Saw Mills open underneath, but couldn't float it over the top to her.
I like the look though. That's something
the idea is great. Yes,
a lot of teams kind of move away from. It's kind of that over the top pass like that. It's tough to execute perfectly, but
could be a very lethal weapon though if you do. Other way, and good job by Taylor Floyd. They call it foul. They just call it out of bounds.
They just call it out of bounds.
Now they're going to talk about it because Floyd was on the left wing trying to take it away from the ball handler. And what
I think they're going to say that Mannford got a timeout.
Oh, okay. So that was before the turnover. They're saying Mannford and Coach Reed able to get a timeout in. It would have been a turnover, so smart timeout by Coach Reed. Compass Athletics, from sports equipment to championship trophies and everything in between. 2024 Main Street in Woodward or 580-256-7045. Also R5. When you work with R5, you can count on a quick, fun, and enjoyable process with results that consistently exceed expectations. Go check out their screen printers, back customized apparel. 817 Main Street in Woodward or 580-256-3579. Compass Athletics R5, powering Boomer Sports this season on KMZE FM Woodward.
I think they may have just gave a warning to a Mannford fan as well.
Getting a little too rowdy.
Right there.
The problem is, and obviously 1 o'clock game, we saw this yesterday on a weekday, not necessarily going to be the highest fan attendance. The Boomers did a good job to bring some people out, though, I will say that.
Oh, we saw it earlier this year with Boomers playing at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Empty gym. And it's easy to get hurt as a fan.
Yes, it is. Saw that Chisholm. So Mannford with the possession after the timeout. Casey on the inbounds. Left corner to Person. Back to Casey on the wing. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Casey wanted to attack, but just turns around. She'll tee up the three for the left wing, but off balance there. It's too strong. Easy rebound on the backside by Woodward as Floyd takes it. Goes across the timeline. 13 seconds. Tries to go left wing. Douglas Fisher. The pass too high, though. We got credit Tingley for jumping in that pass lane and forcing the high pass. It's a turnover from the Boomers. Bit of a offense for defense here. Coach Reed put back in Charlie Hewitt, playing with those 4 fouls, as well as Adley Elliott. Mannford on the possession as Person takes the inbounds in the backcourt with 10 seconds. She'll race ahead, gets across the timeline, top the key, pops the three and leaned into it. They count it as a 2, but still hits the shot, does Person. And that is how we end the third quarter as Mannford able to make it a 1-point ball game, 31-30 as we head to the fourth. We'll step aside. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Tired of complicated Wi-Fi management? Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi makes it easy. With Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi, you can set your Wi-Fi password, view all your connected devices, and even run speed tests all from your phone. Need to set up parental controls? No problem. Simple, smart, secure. Stay connected and in control with Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi. Visit GoPioneer.com to learn more.
You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Visit your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire, at 2220 Main in Woodward.
And the Boomers start off the fourth quarter with a basket. Briley Douglas Fisher on the drive. She's able to get by defenders and lay it home off the glass. 12 for Briley. Boomers lead again by 3, 33-30, 7:30 left in the ball game. Mannford on the possession. It's Casey top the key. Sends it over to Person right wing. She drives, leans into a jumper from the right elbow and is fouled. Shot too strong by Addison Person, forcing the issue. Will go to the free throw line on the jumper. The second foul there on Lexi Mendel. Person tough to stay in front of when she's off ball. First free throw, halfway in, rims out. She's got 10 points. Remains a 3-point ball game in favor of Woodward, 33-30. Couple dribbles, steps, shoots. Second free throw for Person is good. She's got 11 to lead Mannford. 2-point ball game again, 33-31. 7:20 left. Boomers on the possession with the lead. Mendel top the key, left wing to Douglas Fisher. Gets out to Colt. Goes cross court right side to Mendel. Nice up down to Floyd. The shot and the foul. Count the bucket. It's an and one for Taylor Floyd. With 7:12 left. Good ball movement by the Boomers.
Yeah, that's the thing about when you're in a press. It's, or when there's a zone, if you're making the cuts in the right spots, you're definitely going to get opportunities.
And the free throw by Floyd sinks it. So the traditional 3-point play. She's got 5. Boomers lead by 5, 36-31. 7:05 left in the game. Person for Mannford on the right wing, checked by Mendel. Trying to drive baseline right side. Has to pass it over. Floyd steps in front of it, though steals it away. It was intended for Tingley, but then her pass taken by Person. A wild shot there. Low contact, no good. Rebound taken by Mills. The Boomers come away with it. She gets it over to Mendel. Down the right side. Goes in the corner to Douglas Fisher. Pass batted a little bit, but Douglas Fisher able to haul it in. So now she'll pull it back out. Goes up top to Mendel at the Kingfisher logo. Mendel steps up, thinks about the 3. Wants to get it right wing, but it's stolen away. Casey read it. 2-on-2 the other way from Mannford. Casey taking on Mendel and able to get the layup just to crawl in. So Cambry Casey with 6. Back to a 3-point ball game. 36-33. Still in favor of Woodward. 6:20 left as they've got it top the key with Mendel. Left side to Floyd. Culp thinks about the screen. Floyd sends it deep corner to Douglas Fisher right side. Culp now double teamed on the baseline. Out to Floyd left wing. Boomers working around the perimeter. Mendel top of the key. Mendel just calmly dribbling. Mannford not really pressing at her, keeping everybody essentially packed in the paint on the wing. Now finally Person steps up a little bit. Kind of calmly says, I'm going to come guard you. Left side to Floyd. Elbow to Culp and down low to Mills. Able to finish. Again, great ball movement by the Boomers. Mills with 14. That ball almost didn't touch the floor when they started passing that around.
Well, and you got to like the patience the Boomers are having to kind of recognize, hey, we got the ball. We got everything kind of in our wow.
And they forced the travel the other way. It was Casey taking on the right wing. Mills stepped up to guard her, and she started to try to drive, and we thought for a moment it was going to be a foul, not the case. Say a travel by Mannford.
So what I was saying is, the Boomers recognize that we do have the momentum for the most part on our side. We got the clock, so let's be patient and take what's given to us.
So 38-33, Boomers by 5. 5:15 left. They've got the possession. It's Mills left wing. Top key, Douglas Fisher. To Floyd on the left side again. She looks past it on, gives it to Mendel. Guarded tightly as Mendel by Casey. Trying to shake her. Mendel looking to attack. Just has to flip it behind her. Douglas Fisher on the right wing. Resets to Floyd. Douglas Fisher now watching everybody move off ball, seeing if they can find something. Just calmly gives it back to Mendel to reset things again. Mendel wants it to attack on Casey. Gets by her and what they call a foul on Mannford as Mendel was trying to drive. They get Casey for a third. So Mendel's efforts pays off by drawing a foul. It's not a shooting foul or anything of that nature. Third on Casey, second of the quarter on Mannford. Inbounds for the Boomers. And they get offensive foul underneath.
I think they're going to get Caitlin Culp. She was down there working hard with Hewitt and, kind of pushed. It was pushing her out really well, and it was tough for Hewitt to kind of have an opportunity to gain a position, and so they're going to call it a foul.
So that makes it the third foul on Caitlin Culp. Second of the quarter for the Boomers. Mannford back the other way. Person gets the high screen on the left wing. Has it feeded over to Elliott. Finds Tingley, left wing, guarded by Douglas Fisher. Free throw line, Hewitt. Back to Elliott. Drives in, pumps and drives. The shot off the back iron. Rebound taken by Douglas Fisher. 2-on-1 the other way. Bounces over to Floyd for the layup left side man. Douglas Fisher and Floyd run the floor, and it pays off with a Floyd layup. She's got 7, 44-33. Boomers now lead by 7. 4:05 left in the game. As this Person top key, right wing to Casey. She wants to attack. Gets to the paint, a little hop step. Able to put up the shot, but just rims out. Rebound, though, by Elliott. Draws the foul on the second chance. She caught it and just kind of heaved it up, seeing the contact was coming. And then we'll get Kaylee Mills for her third foul. Every time the Boomers start to try to pull away, Mannford able to find just enough. As Elliott at the free throw line. Does sink the first. She's got 10, so 2 Lady Pirates in double figures.
I like the energy that the Boomers have right now, though. They're been all over the place. Talked about the Caitlin's foul here on the other end, but that's kind of something we haven't. The feistiness out of Caitlin Culp. Even though there's a foul, you kind of like to see it.
Second free throw good as well by Elliott, so she's got 11. And it's 40-35, still in favor of the Boomers. They take the possession back. Nelson, left side, dumps down to Floyd, who cuts to the basket. Another and one for Taylor Floyd. Just a hard cut by Floyd. Nelson zipped it in there, and Floyd able to finish through the contact.
We've talked about the confidence that Taylor Floyd has had, especially over the last month. And, now is our perfect time for her to kind of be stepping up and kind of adding another dimension to the Boomers offense.
And makes the free throw. She's now up to 10 points, joining Douglas Fisher and Mills in double figures. And the Boomers lead by 8, 43-35. Top key Person to Hewitt. They'll work it around to Elliott, right side. Goes back to Person on the left wing. She'll try to cut in, cut off by Mendel. But able to spin in, draw the foul, and one by Person in her own right. That was a tough basket. Aston Person with 13. She's just unflappable, the sophomore. You're not going to shake her confidence.
And if I'm Coach Reed, I think I make the whole offense go through Person. And when I say that, I mean, have her penetrating on a regular basis. It looks like they like to try to do a lot through Hewitt whenever she's on, but you know, she's kind of struggled, you know, really overall for the most part, and Person's done a great job.
She's got 14 as she made the free throw. 5-point game again, 43-38. Boomers still lead, 3:15 left. Top of the key, Mills trying to get down the middle, cuts to the left block, trying to work around some traffic, lost it momentarily, does put up the shot. It's off. Douglas Fisher backside board too much, and then Nelson, another chance. She's fouled, and now the Boomers starting to work underneath. As they'll send Bailey Nelson to the free throw line, the 4th foul on Cambry Casey. And the 4th in the quarter for Mannford. Both teams with 4 now in the quarter. Nelson at the free throw line, the first one, splashes home, her first point of the day. Makes it 44-38 with 3:05 left.
Every Boomer that's seen the floor today has gotten in a score sheet.
That's a good stat right there. Second free throw for Nelson, just crawls out, and then a foul underneath on the Boomers. Floyd frustrated with herself. She's trying to fight for the board with Person, and the reason she's frustrated, that's number 5 in the quarter for Woodward. It gives easy free throws now for Person. Second foul on Floyd. So Asa Person already with 14, tying the game high, set by Kaylee Mills. Take over the game high. Dipson shoots the first free throw, and it's off the back iron. So it remains 44-38 in favor of the Boomers. 3:04 left. Couple dribbles. Dips shoots the second free throw, and that's good. So she splits the pair. She's got 15, and we got a timeout taken by, looks like, Mannford. Western Drug, 1021 Oklahoma Avenue in Woodward. They've got a friendly and caring staff and a drive-through window that is awfully convenient. Always excellent service as well. 580-256-5586. CLA State Bank, they've got a branch in Woodward. The new location, 2314 Williams Avenue. CLA State Bank Woodward branch offers full-service banking, including personal checking, savings, home and commercial loans, mobile and online banking, wire transfers, and much more. CLA State Bank, Western Drug, powering Boomer Sports this season. And Eric, I mean, like you mentioned it, you gotta love the energy the Boomers are trying to bring down the stretch here. Kind of woke up after a bit of a slower third quarter. If you close this one out, I know Mannford's a younger team for the most part, but this has been a program that's been real successful the last couple of postseasons. That'd be a pretty good win to push you into the regional consolation championship tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be a great win. The Boomers just kind of need to realize that, you know, they go through these stretches where things get slow, they get, you know, heavy-footed, you know, whatever the situation is, and they've got to kind of get in the mindset of we've got to give it everything we've got at all times, not take any time off.
As the inbounds for the Boomers, it's Floyd to Mendel. They're working ahead. Nelson right side, breaking the press to Douglas Fisher. Out to Floyd on left wing. Calmly just takes it and then steps back. Could have drove, but said, nope, we'll work some time here. Out to Mills left wing. 2:50 left. Boomers lead 44-39. Douglas Fisher takes the handle right side, guarded by Elliott. Dumps inside, Mendel cuts to the basket, gets wide open, and gets the easy one underneath. 8 for Lexi Mendel. Almost again, 4 Boomers in double figures. Do that 2 days in a row, that's pretty impressive. It's Mannford the other way. It's Person trying to drive nearly triple team. Kicks out to Tingley, left wing. Up to Hewitt, thinks about the shot. Instead, will attack. Gets down to the left block, cut off a bit by Douglas Fisher. Now has dribble it out. She's double teamed and just throws the pass over the head of her Lady Pirate teammates, and that's it over her back. The Boomers force Hewitt into a mistake. So they'll take it back, leading 46-39. Boomers could really do themselves some good on this and push it to either 9 or 10 on this possession.
At some point, Mannford's going to have to start looking at fouling.
Yeah, we're getting close to that time, but they're trying to rip it. Kaylee Mills right now somehow able to keep it, and then an over and back, but the Boomers are, did they give the timeout to Coach Moore before the over and back? They might have. Looks like they did because, Mills was getting harassed, lost where she was at, nearly got that over and back. So looks like they gave the timeout to Coach Moore. And they're going to say,
yep,
white possession, so that'd be Boomer ball still. The officials talking about it. So one official telling the other, hey, I gave her the timeout before all that occurred. Similar to the situation we had earlier with Mannford. So 46-39, Woodward trying to hang on to this 7-point advantage. They've, in this fourth quarter, finally kind of got over that 5-point bubble on Mannford and been able to keep it around 7 or so.
Yeah, Coach Reed's going to have to watch out because I think he's getting a warning right now where he kind of stepped out and said something to his assistant coach. Kind of did a great job of kind of shooing him back to the bench, but the official, as soon as he said something, the official turned around, walked back over to towards him. So
gotcha. So he's not the happiest guy right now. Boomers on the inbounds out of the timeout. Floyd to middle of the backcourt. Guarded tightly by Casey. Good crossover to get past her. Middle race ahead. Kicks right side to Floyd in the corner. She'll roll around the top on the dribble. Just keep it. Minute 50 left in the game. Boomers working it around. Floyd trying to pass over to Nelson and tipped out of bounds, they say, by Mannford on the pass. And 45 now left. It'll be Floyd inbounding on the near side. Woodward still holding the lead, 46-39. That's Floyd looking to inbound it. Just scoops it ahead to middle. Will pull back out at the Kingfisher logo. Her pass to the left side. Batted, but Mills able to collect it. Now gets by her fender. Drives, kicks in the right corner to Floyd. Down to minute 30 left in the game. Boomers just continuing to work it around. Trying to be smart. Nelson takes it, gets the screen. She'll pull up for the shot. Free throw line. Just bounces out. Rebound taken by Person. She'll race ahead for Mannford down the right side. Trying to go baseline, and then a foul on Kaylee Mills. And that will send Adley Elliott to the free throw line for Mannford, the 4th on Kaylee Mills. She had no fouls in the first half. That's now is all of a sudden racked up 4. Tough break for Kaylee. First free throw for Elliott does fall. She's got 12. She's playing with 4 fouls as well. Makes it 46-40, 6-point advantage for the Boomers. Minute 17 left. Second free throw for Elliott. Dips and shoots. That one done, but down as well. So 13 for Adley Elliott. Between her and Asa Pearson, they combined for 28 of the 41 for Mannford now. Timeout with that minute 17 left. M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop for your best lawn, porch, or patio. M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop are your people. They carry everything you need to make your greenscape that little piece of heaven you've always dreamed of. Locations in Woodward, Ken, and Weatherford. Smith & Co. Auction and Realty, Oklahoma's real estate and land auction expert. Smith & Co. is your #1 choice for all your land auctions and real estate needs. 580-254-3975 or email Ira at smithcorealestate.com. Smith & Co. M&D powering Boomer Sports this season. As Boomers lead 46-41, 5-point ball game. They'll have this possession out of the timeout. And just trying to probably work a little bit of clock with minute 17 left, and ultimately, Eric, just don't commit that turnover, right?
Yeah.
Try to force Mannford into the foul.
That's the big thing is, not committing the turnover, making good passes, get the ball into the half court, and then, you try to get it set up in a half court opportunity to still move the ball around, but, that Mannford's going to be getting close to that opportunity where they want to foul.
As inbound does go to Lexi Middle. She's trapped deep in the right corner and getting bumped, and I think she did get fouled there as she was starting to go out of bounds. That was all the way away from the basket. It'll be number 5 on Mannford in the quarter and send Middle to the free throw line. Only a second goes off the clock, though, they say. Or a few seconds, excuse me, there's minute 17 left. So down to minute 13. The foul, the 5th on Cambry Casey. So she fouls out with 6 points for Mannford. We'll see a girl popping off the bench for the first time today for Mannford and Brooke Kaiser, the sophomore. Mendel at the line with a chance to join Douglas Fisher, Mills, and Floyd in double figures. First free throw, Rainbows high, and then off the front iron. So remains 46-41. Into a couple dribbles. Dips and shoots the second free throw. That one is good. So she'll split the pair. 9 points for her. 47-41. Boomers in control by 6. That's his person for Mannford. Sends it right side to Tingley. In the corner, Elliott looking to go cross court. Does to Kaiser. Back up top to Tingley, who will drive on Nelson. Goes for the layup. No good, but she's fouled. Both Mills and Nelson trying to say, hey, we're straight up. But they give the foul anyways. Hopefully this one's on Nelson and not on Mills. That'd be 5 on Mills, and it is on Nelson. So that's just her third. So at the line is Emily Tingley, the senior. First free throw, good for her. She's got 5. Back to a 5-point ball game. Boomers still in control, 47-42, but Mannford doing all they can to claw back in. Second free throw for Tingley. That one off the back iron. Bounce, and it rolls out. Rebound taken by Douglas Fisher. Goes ahead to Middle. Boomers just trying to get across the timeline. Middle does. Now backs it out smartly with 50 seconds. Sees the double team, gets it over to Floyd. And finally, Mannford has the foul with 46.1 as Floyd the one fouled for the Boomers. And that will be on Tingley, her third. So Taylor Floyd having a great game with 10 points. Looking to add to that. First free throw, good. She's got 11. It's been really strong in the second half, trying to close things for the Boomers. Second free throw up. That one good as well. So Taylor Floyd with 12, and the Boomers making a 7-point game again, 49-42 with 42 seconds left. This person across timeline for Mannford. Looking to attack left side. Kicks to Kaiser in the corner. Top key to Hewitt. Takes about the 3 instead. Sends it to Tingley right side near the corner. She sees the double team coming. Back out Hewitt. Launches the deep right wing 3, and she hit it. Charlie Hewitt hits the 3. Cuts it back to a 4-point game. 49-45 with 26 seconds left and a timeout taken. So, I mean, Mannford's trying. They are trying to stick in it. The Boomers, you've got in the spot you want, right? It's a 4-point game. You just keep getting it inbounds here in the final few seconds, drawing those fouls. I believe that was Mannford's last time out. So the Boomers still showing 3 left, Mannford done. So that's important because now you hit your free throws on this next chance. You're up 6, and Mannford's going to have to go real quick.
Yeah, and that's the big thing is you got to hit your free throws. We saw early in the game, the Boomers struggled knocking some down. We've seen it through different periods of the season where, they've struggled at the line. That's the first thing, right? Well, honestly, the first thing is you've got to make good, clean passes. You got to quickly get the ball up the court, to where you can get yourself kind of set up in a situation where you try to where you're starting to play keep away, But then whenever you do get fouled, because they're going to try to be fouling as quick as possible, is you got to knock down your free throws.
So it's Floyd, the inbounder for the Boomers, gets it into Mendel. Mendel in the backcourt, almost over-dribbled, but did get fouled.
Mendel, she got lucky because it looked like to me she also drove her pivot foot initially because she thought the foul was coming and the foul wasn't there immediately. She kind of looked like she drug her feet, and then she almost got the double dribble. So,
but she'll head to the line. The foul on Brooke Kaiser, her first. Mendel a chance to put the Boomers up by 6. First free throw falls in. Hits the front, hits the back, and falls. Mendel joining now as the 4th player in double figures for the Boomers again today. So done that back-to-back days. Really nice to see there. Second free throw for Mendel up, and that one off the front of the iron. 5-point game, rebound by Mannford. 50-45, 20 seconds left. Person trying to push it. Right wing leans into the 3, and that one off the front of the rim. Rebound secured by Mills. Gets it over to Floyd, down to 12 seconds. She's double teamed backcourt, dribbles around a couple of Mannford girls, gets up to Mills, ahead to Nelson with 6 seconds. Boomers looking to dribble it out. 4 to 3 to 2, 1, and that is it. The Woodward girls have secured their spot in the regional consolation championship game with a 50-45 win over the Mannford Lady Pirates. The Boomers fight on for another day. We'll step aside for a break, come back with your post-game stats. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, Pipe Lanes Tire.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
And back in Kingfisher, as the Woodward girls have taken out the Mannford Lady Pirates 50-45 today. Girls move to 12-12 on the season, and most importantly, secure a chance for tomorrow to play for that regional consolation championship, maybe get their way into areas. Let's look at your post game stats for the girls. It was Kaylee Mills leading the way with 14 points today. Then you had strong efforts from Taylor Floyd, Riley Douglas Fisher with 12 apiece. Lexi Mendel winds up getting into the double-figure club as well with 10 points. Also hit the Boomers only 3 in the ball game. And then you had a point apiece for Caitlin Culp and Bailey Nelson. On the Mannford side, impressive performance from Addison Pearson. She had 15 points and a 3 as well. 13 from Adley Elliott. And then you had 6 from Charlie Hewitt and 5 from Emily Tingley, the starting bunch there for Mannford producing. Mannford finishes the season at 14-10. But Eric, looking at the rebounds, turnovers, things of that nature, the Boomers at least try to even it up a little bit or pull out ahead on that stuff?
Actually, yeah, the Boomers actually pulled out ahead. 38-31 was the total rebounding numbers. The Boomers had the advantage right there. A lot of that had to do with Riley Douglas Fisher. She ended up with 15 rebounds. And Kaylee Mills had, looks like, 8 rebounds. Taylor Floyd was the next leading rebounder with 4. Lexi Mendel had 3. Nelson had 2. Culp had a rebound. Turnovers, it was 13-13. Kind of both teams did a much better job overall in the second half as far as not turning the ball over. Kind of looking at a few of the other stats, looking at assists. Caitlin Culp actually led the team with 3 assists. Bailey Nelson and Riley Douglas Fisher had 2 assists. Mills, Mendel, and Floyd each had an assist. So we talked about every Boomer on the floor got points. Every Boomer that came on the floor got rebounds. Every Boomer that came on the floor got assists. So you know, it was a good, clean team game all the way around. Mills and Floyd both had 2 steals. Mendel had a steal, Nelson had a steal, and then Mendel had a block.
Very good effort from the girls. So I guess that brings us to our Bank of Western Oklahoma Player of the Game. Eric, what do you think? Who's your vote?
I think it's got to be Briley because of those 15 rebounds. Across the board, everybody kind of chipped in. You had four players, double figures.
Sure.
You had Mills with her 8 rebounds and 2 steals. There are there were multiple candidates, but I think if you got to give it to one, I think we got to give it to Briley.
I think that's fair again. Setting the tone like she did yesterday for the Boomers. Had that 20-point performance yesterday on the rebounds as well. And today had the first basket of the game off, working herself into a good opportunity down low and had a great game on the boards yet again. So we'll go with Briley Douglas Fisher, your Bank of Western Oklahoma Player of the Game. The Bank of Western Oklahoma goes beyond banking. No matter where you are, the Bank of Western Oklahoma is always close. Find a location near you at bankofwesternoklahoma.com. Riley Douglas Fisher, your girls Player of the Game. So what does that mean for Woodward girls? Again, tomorrow, that means they will play for the Regional Consolation Championship at 1 o'clock back here in Kingfisher. They will now await the winner of the Clinton Elk City game that is due to take place at 6 o'clock tonight. So we think it's probably going to be Elk City, but to be fair, Clinton's played a lot better down the stretch than what we saw them earlier this season. So we'll see how the Lady Red handle Elk City tonight. And as what that sets up for us for the rest of the day, the Woodward boys is going to be the next up. 7:30 tonight. We'll witness the Cash Cushing game at 2:30 coming up, and the Clinton Elk City game aforementioned. Before we get to Woodward boys, they will also be taking on the Mannford Pirates and trying to clinch their spots into the Regional Consolation Championship. With that all said, folks, we will catch you later tonight. Pre-game should be right about 7:05. We'll get underway and get you set up for that matchup for the Woodward boys and the Mannford Pirates. But here, the Woodward girls take it today 50-45 and clinch a spot in the Regional Consolation title game. Until tonight, we'll catch you around. We hope you have a great rest of your Friday. You're been listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV.
You've been listening to Woodward Boomer Sports on News Talk Sports Z92. Follow the Boomers all season long on Z92 and Z92online.com. This has been a presentation